welcome back to the TTS surgery. Let's go. Come on, man. Yeah. We got K9 in the building. Let's go. What's up, my man? That's good, man. So, K9, listen. Tell us a bit about yourself. Who's K9? What do you do?
Well, I'm a deputy manager of a children's care home.
Okay.
That's what I do for a living.
Yeah.
But I also do a bit of music, songwrite, do a bit of rapping.
This guy said I do a bit of music. Bro, this guy is cold. Oh my goodness me. Like, you're actually, I'm going to tell the truth, right? Like, I'm a rap fan. I'm a hip hop fan. And listening to your music lets me know that you're a hip hop fan as well. No, because there's a lot of people that do music and, you know, there's some, I wouldn't tell everyone this. Because honestly, you know, they say if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing. But of course. But I've got plenty nice to say about your music, bro. I
appreciate that.
Yeah. So you said you were deputy...
I'm a deputy manager of a children's care home.
Okay. You know what? I didn't even know that. Let's go, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I always like asking these questions because there's certain stereotypes with like males that come from like our environment. You're from Hackney, right?
Yeah.
You understand? We got Hackney in the building, yeah.
Come on.
Shout out to Principal Hakeem and that, yeah. But you know, like some of the stuff that we hear, etc. But here it is where even earlier on I had an interview with Nana, go check that out, right? And then he spoke about me and him came from the same environment, literally went to the same school. So we know about the other directions that we can go to, right? So how did you end up becoming like someone that is definitely, you need to be of upstanding, upworthy character in order to work with children and be a manager of a, you know, it's a
children's care home.
Children's care home, yeah.
It's been a journey. It's been a long journey.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd be in this position.
I'm just going to push that to you.
Yeah. I didn't think I'd be in this position. I didn't really have any thoughts to be like managing a care home.
Yeah.
I kind of got into it through music, funnily enough. So I was doing music for a while. And someone introduced me to a mentoring company, asked me if I wanted to be a mentor. And I thought, you know what, why not? I think I've always had like leadership skills and had positive influences. So I thought, I'll try to give it a go. I got some training on that, done that for a while.
When you say training, sorry, because I'm conscious of people who might be following your journey that are at the beginning of their journey. What was that training like? What was that training?
It was really just learning how to work with young people.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The safeguarding stuff. Just what it entails to be a mentor, really. Do you know what I mean? Because naturally you think, I can be a mentor. I can just give good advice. But it's more than just giving good advice. It's really knowing how to have a relationship with these young people and meet their needs kind of thing. So I done that for a while, done that for about a year. And that got me into working with young people.
Okay.
So once I done that, I got into a support worker in a children's home.
Okay.
And it's literally just
climbing your way up.
Work my way up, man.
Okay. What is a children's care home?
A children's care home is children who are looked after children. They're no longer living at home with their parents. Social services have taken them away from their families for different circumstances. Could be neglect, abuse, domestic
Do you know
violence.
what? That's such a high responsibility for you guys, right? Because wait, let me just say this. Is it any different to a foster home?
So foster care is normally like long term. It's like children are normally placed in foster care instead of a children's home.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
It does depend on their needs though. Every child has different needs. So if they're better placed with a family in foster, then they'll do that. But children's care homes are like the next step.
So I'm guessing in the children's care home, that's like a 24-hour procedure. They live there. That's it. That's
365.
365. Now, this is a question I've got, right? Where I think what you guys do is like amazing responsibility because. Tell me if the stat is correct. I don't know where I'm getting it from, but I'm sure this stat is correct, right? Where children that are industrialized from an early age, right? Meaning, like they've gone to care homes or foster parents, whatever the system, right? They are more likely to go into or be vulnerable into, let's just say, like crime and other areas because of the vulnerability, prisons, crime, etc.
Teenage pregnancy, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
So how do you like? Do you see the vulnerability? Do you see the children that are vulnerable to these kind of things? How do you if you even able to, how do you see yourself as someone that is a shield from that or protector from that, or do you have to be like, you know what, I just need to provide a job and a role for these children as what my job role is?
It's a bit of both, because as a parent myself, you wanna raise the children in a certain way, but there's guidelines we have to follow with the system. Do you know what I mean? So what I would say is, like, it's really about identifying the needs of that young person and then meeting those needs, because some young people have issues with self-harm, some have got substance misuse issues, some have difficulties building relationships because of how many different care homes and placements they've been in. So it's really like reading the file and then getting to know the young person to meet those needs.
And you see how you say children, what's the age group?
So we do 11 to 18.
11 to 18, Wow. And sorry, just off the top of my head, right? And again, I'm just keeping it real. Like, so I'm just asking what the audience might ask. Is there not extra safeguarding procedures? Because the 18-year-old and the 11-year-old, they've, and they're not actually blood related. There's all types of safeguarding.
Of course,
you need to put in there. That kind of.
Those are all considered when we're doing matching placements. So if I get a referral for a young person to come into the home, I have to consider already the young people that's already in the home, and how that would
interact and stuff like that.
Coming in,
Now, here's the thing, right? Is it one big school? Or what's the difference? Because I'm asking all the ignorant questions, right? Because I know it's like, do you ever get into teacher mode? Or is it parent mode? Or is it uncle? Or is it a big bro?
It's a bit of both. It's a bit of both. So when I was a support worker, I was very more hands-on, very more active with the young people, taking them on activities, doing school runs, things like that. And then it depends on the age as well. So some children might see me as big bro, and then the other children might see me as like an uncle type figure. Do you know what I mean? So it depends on their age and their relationships. But now as a deputy manager, I'm less hands-on with the children, and I'm more managing the staff.
Of course,
and supporting them to support the young people.
Yeah, definitely. And sorry, going back to even now, my favorite part of like, from what I know you as is as a cold rapper, bro. You know what I'm saying? But tell me how you got into music as well. And
music, cause I just love writing. You know, it started off as a rap.
Wait, I got to ask you, because I don't know what your top like. I just know that it's gonna be. I know there's gonna be a name. I hope you say this name. Who's in your top 5 of all time?
What, like UK or US?
No, just US. Or top 3.
It's like putting me on the spot.
I'm
gonna say like Jadakiss. Tupac.
Okay.
I like J. Cole.
Okay, yeah.
I just like lyrics. I'm a lyricist, man. I appreciate the other stuff, like the futures and the flows and all that stuff, but I like lyrics and I like substance.
And I cut you off, sorry. How did you get into music? You said you're a fan of lyrics.
I'm a fan of lyrics. It started off really in school, writing poetry. So I was really good at English in school. English is my strongest subject. And I started writing poetry, and I loved comprehension and that, and just loved writing. And then the poetry just developed into rapping. And then here we are, man. 20 years later, still doing it.
And there's this thing. This is the thing about the age thing, right? Because like we're from similar generations, right? And so, what do you think of like one as a rapper rapping now, and as not only that, as a rapper that is also dealing with children in a you have a profession,
of course.
How do you deal with the content you write and being a rapper with also actually I'm a professional working with young people? Is there extra onus of what you're writing? Because rap can be very, very raw, right? But do you feel that you've got a responsibility to the kids, or is it just like, no, I'm just being myself. This is what it is, and
it's a bit of both. It's responsibility, and I'm being myself. Like, I've always felt like I'm an honest rapper. So before, when I was living a certain way or doing certain things, I was honestly rapping about certain things. So now that my life's changed and I'm doing other things, my music has to represent that as well. Do you know what I mean? So the subject matter and the substance of it has definitely changed. And I feel I have to have music that young people can listen to. They might turn around and say, "Oh, that's my deputy manager." Do you know what I mean? The subject has to be positive, I guess.
And so, what was your rap journey though? Like, because I know you've been like in the scene for like a minute. Did you pause, come back again, or whatever the case is? Or
I've always dabbled. Like, I've always done music, but there's been times where I've just been more focused in it than others. And then for me, like, my career just working in childcare
Yeah.
developed for me. So for
Yeah.
me, you know, that was priority over music. Do you know, music's definitely a passion for me. The business side of it was like something that came later on. I've been doing it from school where making money from music wasn't even an option. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And along the way, it becomes something that you want to pursue. But then at some point, you know, my journey took a different way. And like I said, it was music that got me into working with young people anyway. So it's still a purpose, you know what I mean?
And we're from that generation where it's like with musicians, right? Especially rappers. And you know that onus is like, I want to ask you the last question about like us. We've got Nas, Jay-Z. You've got this new thing in music where it's not just a young man's game anymore. You've got this, it's called grown man rap, right? And so that there's a thing about like being elder, like getting into our like grown. We're not just 18, 19-year-olds rapping, right? So how do you feel about doing that music and the age now compared to the content you were making now and then? Like and as a business, can you see a lane for you in the UK with that?
I can see a business, but like I said, I'm not focused on it as a business.
I love that. Yeah.
For me right now, it really is a hobby, it's a passion.
Yeah.
If it develops further, then that's great. But I'm a deputy manager of a children's care home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you see that, yeah.
That's what I
do. All right, listen, I'm not even seriously, go listen, because when I went to your Insta, like listening to the music, YouTubes and that, I was listening, I'm like, bro, K9 is like, I'm actually just an instant fan.
I appreciate
so
it,
tell people how they can find you, bro.
Wait, I'm all over the place. Insta, K9__easy on all socials, really.
Yeah. Is that, it's not one of them easies with a Z, is that?
It's easy with a Z.
That's how I see that. I had to tell them
easy with a Z.
Yeah, man. Listen, you gotta be specific with the Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
Real.
So yeah, and then is that Instagram and TikTok or
Instagram, TikTok, all socials, man. That's where you can find me.
So there you go, man. Yeah, everyone, make a loud round of applause for K, man. Let's go, man. We're gonna stick around. We're gonna get into some podcast mode. All right, man. Let's get into it.
Nice one, bro.